Okay, this one is on LinkedIn and copywriting. I think when a lot of people do business on LinkedIn, they're trying to connect with different people on LinkedIn, they sometimes have a lot of success, sometimes they don't have a lot of success, and there's always questions why. So I don't think it really matters what platform you're using to connect with people, either to try to sell them something, or try to market to them, or try to connect with them, grab a coffee. Whatever you're trying to do, the platform doesn't quite matter that much. It's a lot about the type of message, what you're trying to say. It doesn't really provide any value to those people. So I'll give you an example of LinkedIn, and then I'll say why it's not as relevant per platform versus just having a good message in general. So if you're trying to connect with somebody, there's a few really important things you want to remember, and this will be just in relationship to LinkedIn. You want to find people who have similar interests, or you have something that you are connected with them to. That could be maybe you are in similar groups together, maybe you are working in something similar, maybe you have similar titles, or you're in the same industry. Maybe you're working in B2B and they're also working B2B, and so you want to identify that. You want to identify that and indicate that, hey, I noticed that you're doing a similar thing. Here's what I'm doing. I just would love to connect. That is a good way to start. And again, remember, whenever you send your welcome message, you're only limited to 300 characters. So you can't really say too much. You just can say something that's really important and make it very specific to them. Hey, this is why I'm connecting. I'm a similar person. Here's what I'm looking for. So there cannot be any sales messages, any sales pitches, and ideally you don't include any calls to action. Sometimes you can, but generally it's not the best way to connect with someone. And again, we are just talking about the welcome message when you send a connection request to someone. Now, after somebody accepts you, you have 30,000 characters to send to the person, and what usually happens, and you probably receive those messages as well, somebody will send you a pitch. They will say, hey, this is what we are doing, here's who we're working with, let's connect. And it doesn't really work very well because they use an automation software to do that, and everybody gets a very generic message and everybody knows it's generic. Especially whenever you try to connect with people like directors, vice presidents, and CEOs. They will know it, and you have this one opportunity, one shot at making it work, and you won't. It will never happen. But the way to make it really happen is to show what kind of value that person will get from you. And even if you are a student or if you have limited experience, there's still a way to show that you are different than somebody else. And the way to do it is to personalize your message, is to show, hey, show the work that you put in already, and then you're just looking for this extra little thing. So for example, show that I read these books, here's what I'm working on, here's some of the quick results I'm getting. I'm just looking for an advice in XYZ area because you are that type of person. And I was super impressed by, or I loved your podcast that you did with this person and where you talked about XYZ. Now, this is a really great message. It shows that you are doing the work that already differentiates you from 99.9% of people who just talk about it and they never do anything, and they don't really follow up with advice they don't follow with advice of their people who they meet. And so that's really frustrating. And then you customize the message so it has something that shows that you know and you follow that person for some time. Extremely important. Now, you're going to say, well, that's unscalable. That's correct. But then again, how many people do you really need to say yes? That's up to you. I think whenever we talk about really good marketing, whenever we talk about really good conversation and communication, trying to connect with the right people, it will be always one-on-one. And the guys from Drift probably are really one of the pioneers there, and the marketing they do is really, really good. It's very different from the old playbook that we've been accustomed to. And so no, it is not scalable, but you have to treat it as one-on-one, but people will see it and you will get really positive responses. But no, you cannot use automation software for that. But And then, so this is just for LinkedIn, right? So this is for LinkedIn, but what do we, when we talk about, say, emails, and we talk about maybe Instagram direct messages, why some people respond and some don't? Well, there's one key thing, is that your message is not relevant, or maybe you don't have that validation, you don't have that proof that you can deliver on what you said. And it could be frustrating, but that's one of the things that really is important. Whenever you're sending a DM on Instagram, if they're going to look at your profile, if you're not having that, and you probably have like 3 seconds to show, to give an impression, and if you don't have something that relates to your message, it's probably not going to work. And so these are and the same goes for email. You cannot send an automated cold email and expect a response. If you customize it, you don't sell, you ask a question. If you show that you know that person, have something personal in that, show how that person can benefit. Show that you put in the work and you already did something, so you're not just asking them about something that you can Google about yourself. That is a great start. And one of what VPs of marketing at Drift, Dave Gerhardt, recommends, and I think it's really important, is you are not just sending them a case study, hey, check this out, or hey, check this, my price page, or send them a link. You ask them, hey, I've got this thing that could be valuable for you. Would you mind if I send it to you? That's a great way to start. You want to have a format as if it's a conversation, if not a monologue. You're not making assumptions, and you always come across as a much better person, much more ethical person, versus somebody who is trying to spam other people. So hopefully, guys, it was helpful. Let me know what you think about copywriting on LinkedIn, on other platforms, and in terms of creating a message that is compelling for other people. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button, and do me one favor, share it with your friends, with those who would benefit from this content. The goal here is to build one of the largest communities for personal and business growth, and I cannot do it without you. I will have world-class people coming on the podcast. We'll have phenomenal content, really great value for you, and we'll go deeper than a lot of other shows go, and I will share a lot of insights in these videos, and I'll make it also applicable to the work you're doing. Now, I can't really do it without you, so please share. I have all the links below, and I will see you in the next episode.